All right, today is December 1st, and yeah, this week at work was really busy. I think I had a bit of a period there where it felt not so bad, but yeah, this week in particular was just absolute mayhem. We had more planning things kind of came up that didn't feel, in my opinion, like I don't know the best timed, but they're significant at the same time. So had to make progress through that, and it wasn't just for our team, so it was like a significant amount of coordination. Just pretty overwhelming. But on top of that, I was on call, and that's always just like a lot of extra overhead. So in my role as a manager, like I'm generally not doing the on-call related things. We have site reliability engineers and SREs, and they're absolutely amazing. Especially like during work hours and stuff. Like they're just awesome. They're so good at their jobs. And when I get paged for things on call, like for someone that understands the concepts, and I help manage the team and the strategy and all things like that, like when I have to get into the nitty gritty details, if I'm not doing it every day, because I'm not, it's really challenging for me to be able to effectively help people. I personally, like, I think I understand that they as in like Microsoft, or at least in my organization, they want me as a manager to be on call so that I can learn and understand the challenges that the team faces, that our customers face. A lot of the time for a platform team, customers are internal. And I really do value that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't, for me, I don't, I don't think it's effective. In fact, I think it's a complete pain in the ass for not only me, but the more important part is it's a bigger pain in the ass for the people on my team that I constantly have to engage, and for the people that I'm supporting, because I can't give them the support that they deserve. So I feel like for me, I can accomplish what that goal is without having to be on call. Like regularly have communication with the SREs and channel like what their challenges and stuff are, and what our customer challenges are. Right, like we have a particular group that does like a sort of, what do they call it? Like weekly office hours almost for a lot of the service owners that we support. So like I just think that there's better ways to do that, but I get that tossing you into the mix is like, arguably like a forceful way to ensure it's happening. So it just feels off to me. But yeah, it completely disrupts my ability to be able to do my normal job. And I assume for a bunch of people that's the case when they're on call. But I feel like at least for the software engineers that are not typically like doing SRE work, when they're on call, they're at least familiar with the platform like tech that they have to interact with, running scripts, being able to go pull information from machines and data centers and things like that. Like they're just more in tune with it because they have to do that as part of their deployment of changes that they're working on. So anyway, just those two things layered on top of each other made it like just overwhelming this week. So that's been kind of crappy. Don't think I don't think that I got. I'm gonna segue. So let's work. I don't think that I got all of my articles that I wanted written for Dev Leader this week. I think I had some from last week that I had gotten a little bit ahead, but I have to double check. But I don't think I had anything for yesterday or today. Maybe even Wednesday. So that's really crappy because I am trying to do 6 a week. So I exclude Saturday because I do the newsletter. So I definitely feel like this week with work was so overwhelming that I just ran out of time to be able to, because the on call goes to after hours as well. But I was also like, I was also following up with people like from the China side to be able to like in my evening time to be able to go kind of close gaps on some things. So just yeah, I felt bad to kind of fall behind on my content creation. Videos still kept going. When did I last? Okay, so on Dev Leader stuff, the last one of these that I would have done was Friday last week. So that means that my course had not launched then. And that's the big project that I've been working on. So I created a refactoring for C Sharp developers course on Dome Train. This was a super exciting opportunity for me because if you're watching this, I'm assuming you're really into C Sharp because you're part of my membership program. And if you're into C Sharp and you're following me, then you probably know who Nick Chapsis is. So Nick Chapsis created Dome Train, which is just his site where he's kind of pulling together, you know, either content creators, industry experts to be able to put together courses in the space for .NET. And like I think it's got to be like a few months ago now because it took me a couple months to put the course together. But I remember Nick Chapsis reached out to me, and I thought it was phishing. Like, why is Nick Chapsis like arguably one of the biggest C# .NET content creators? Why is he reaching out to me? So I'm like, this has got to be spam. Like, it's got to be a phishing thing. And he was like, hey, like, I have this thing. Have you thought about making courses? Like, we should get on a Discord call. And what I've been doing with my site is preparing it I moved away from Patreon because it just didn't seem to be a good fit. Wanted to do the memberships on my site, and then I wanted to offer courses on my site. And I was thinking, like, man, like, I know that if I'm doing courses for Nick Chapsis and Dome Train, I understand that he will be getting a portion of that. Makes sense. Like, it's not doing it for free kind of thing. But the reason that I wanted to host my own courses was because then I don't have to split with anyone. I'm, totally on my own. Well, my success is, given back to me kind of thing. But I was thinking, like, it would be absolutely stupid to not at least, even if I made $0 from putting a course together, the sort of the experience of being able to have conversations with Nick Chapsis, be able to work with him, like even though like he didn't do the course, I made the course myself. But just having that networking connection alone, I was like, this would be stupid to not do. And of course, like, I was not expecting that there would be zero sales or anything. So the other part was just like, financially and from the perspective of offering courses, like, he has a infinitely larger sort of audience than I do. And as much as I would like to be in a position where I own 100% of everything I'm doing, like, again, it would just be idiotic of me to not take up that opportunity and basically allow him to own distribution of the course. So yeah, I opted in for that. It was I don't want to say it was a lot of work. That's not really. It was time consuming. I think when I compare it to, what's a good way to explain this? I refactor a lot of code. My career before Microsoft was basically like I wrote a lot of products at a startup, like a lot of the initial code, and I was helping people refactor that code like over the next 8 years of my career, basically. So it was helping other people refactor my code, and I've spent a lot of time doing it. So it's something I'm passionate about. I have a lot of experience doing. I'm happy to teach people, but a lot of my refactoring abilities and skills that I have come from doing. I didn't read books and get the names of the techniques, and so when I was putting this course together, I had to stop and be like, I can't just walk through code and like start just cleaning it up and not talk and whatever. Like, I have to be able to teach people that these are methods that get used. So I had to look at how I refactor and realize, like, oh, this has a name. Like, this is a standardized thing because I'm just so used to going in and like it's a, I don't know, like muscle memory kind of thing. It's like almost instinctual from doing it so much. And that's not to say like I'm perfect or anything. Certainly not. But I don't think about, oh, I'm going to go apply this pattern called X and then go refactor. I'm just looking at code and I'm like, it's completely unwieldy because methods are too big, or it's brittle. We see it breaking. Oh, there's no test coverage. And then intuitively from doing it a bunch of times, I go, okay, like here's the steps I follow to go make this happen. It's just a pattern. And yeah, it was, I think for that reason, a little bit more challenging than I expected to come up with the examples and stuff. Just because I had to compartmentalize how I refactor into these little segments. But anyway, it was a good experience. I I definitely want to do more, so I'm reaching out to him. I think I want to take like a little breather. Like we have holidays and stuff coming up, so this was consuming a lot of my time. Outside of, it's not fair to say still. It's not consuming a lot of time, but a lot of like opportunity in my schedule. So every weekend I'm like, okay, I have to chip away at the course, that kind of thing. During the week, it was kind of like I have my own content creation, but weekends I'm like, okay, make sure you carve out some time. So it's not like I worked around the clock for months or something to do it. So yeah, I just want to make sure that I have time over the holidays to be with my wife and make sure we're doing Christmas stuff. But yeah, we'll do more. That was really exciting. What else is going on? So some interesting things, just because again, this behind the scenes stuff. My blog currently was getting a lot of, or like historically has been getting a lot of traffic from a couple of like C# and .NET aggregators, and these are the same ones that literally 10 plus years ago, when I was blogging a little bit more, the same ones that would pick up my articles and I would get a spike in traffic. It's the exact same site, so it's really cool. Good for them. So I have been getting most of my traffic from a couple of these, and like that's not super sustainable. And proof is that my site traffic has been declining because I'm getting less referrals from these sites. I don't exactly know why. I think it's because I've been doing a bunch of content that's not C# focused, like general refactoring, right? Like general design patterns. When they're not C# topics, they don't get picked up, or .NET topics, they don't get picked up, which is fine. But I think that content's important to mix in. As a result, I have periods where I don't get the traffic from these referrals. But what's been really cool, and I never had this before on my site, is my content was never optimized for SEO in any capacity. And I certainly have a long way to go with this, but I am finally getting growth on like impressions and clicks. So I think this month, Google sent me an email that was like, congrats on 500 clicks in the month. Like I've never had that ever. And I can see like where my visitors are coming from is now the like search engines are climbing very fast, and that's awesome to see. So it's just a good reminder, like these getting these articles and stuff out has been really tremendous for that. And what I like about that is that it puts the control a little bit back on me. I don't like, as much as I love and having these aggregators like share links for my site, and like Alvin Ashcraft is one of the guys, and he's an awesome dude. So like I am very thankful for that. But it's like at the same time, I don't want to rely on these aggregators being the only ones driving me traffic. So anyway, just a cool little metrics thing that I thought was interesting. I'm trying to think what else in terms of like behind the scenes on the content creation. I'm changing thumbnails up. I don't know if I mentioned this on the last behind the scenes video. I think I did, but my coach for helping with YouTube was saying like my click through rate is like abysmal. He was just saying like, I think your content deserves more views, and it's your thumbnails. Not to insult my thumbnails, but just the fact that they're not converting people. So I'm going to be experimenting with that. I'm going to be trying to use probably like a bunch of AI to drop in scenes or objects into the thumbnails. Just because right now it's mostly me with a title, and that's it. And if I think about it, like Nick Chapsis does a lot of this, but people know him. People don't know who I am. So having my face there is helpful for the expressions, but that's not enough. Like people don't know who I am, so it's kind of like okay, who's this guy? I don't care. If I'm going and making a surprised face or something, then people might go, I don't know who he is, but he's surprised at something. I'll click. But I think, yeah, I'm going to be changing up the thumbnails. So to give you an example, if I have like a between a 3 to 4% click through rate, it's really hovers between those two right now. Let's pretend it's 4. If YouTube, as their algorithm works, and I'm kind of not going to explain it in detail because I don't know it in detail, but roughly speaking, it will show your video to a small audience. So say it samples 100 people. If what I'm getting right now is out of 100 people, 4 people decide to watch my video. And what needs to happen is that more people watch it in the beginning. Then YouTube goes, oh, I should show it to a bigger audience. Let me sample a bigger audience and keep doing this. And I don't know how it does it, but how to pick the audience. But I think that they try to learn over time, like your subscriber base, of course, like other people that are watching similar videos to them, that kind of thing. And really, if they pick the right group, which I want to be able to trust that eventually the algorithm does that, if people still aren't clicking my videos, it's because the thumbnails are not capturing them. So out of 100 people, I'm getting 4. If I want to grow my channel, I need that number 4 to be a lot higher so that when they show the video, more people are willing to click. Hopefully they like the content, but that's really like the limiting factor. It's the edge of if you think about a funnel, it's like the top level of the funnel. My top level of the funnel is extremely narrow. How can I expect to have any kind of growth as the funnel gets more narrow? So that's kind of interesting, but I'm going to be working on that. I think that's it for Dev Leader. Meal Coach, I'll keep pretty brief. Have not yet had the sit-down conversation with the bodybuilder at my gym. I have started my bodybuilding prep, though, and he's the posing coach, so I'm going to be getting FaceTime with him, so I'm not too concerned about that. In fact, I might shoot him a message today because there's a posing class tomorrow, so I might be able to see if I can sit down with him. I know, like, he's a churchgoer, family man. He's got a couple of kids, so I don't know if, like, weekends for him are completely booked outside of, like, his posing class, but we'll see. So there's that. We looked into the email cold, like the cold email outreach. The system and we were going to use for that, like the costs were a little bit hidden, I think. So we're going to back off from that in terms of doing it super broad. But we are going to put together a video, try to send that out. So that's cool. And then because I've been so busy with on-call, like even during lunch and stuff this week, I didn't have time, but I'm going to join some Slack groups and see if I can start poking around for some beta testers. So I didn't get to that since last week, but I'm going to be doing that today. So I'm excited for that. And we made a code change because we've been kind of parking code changes until we're getting feedback. But I have been trying to make a recipe generator on the side so that we can populate our database of recipes with just more examples of things so that it doesn't feel like you're always getting the same things. And you can add your own anyway, but or import them from websites. But I wanted to just have the stock set be more enriched. So I was making this recipe generator, and then we decided we're going to actually, like, once it's working, and we have it working, we now linked it up in the user interface. So you as a user of the product can go, like, I just want to add more recipes. Cool. You can press this generate button and it will go make a recipe for you. So you get to edit it before you save it and stuff. It's pretty neat. So pretty happy about that. But yeah, I think that's it for Meal Coach, and that's probably going to wrap up this video. So again, thank you so much for your support. I definitely appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you next week and hopefully have more exciting updates. So take care.